Been one of the biggest questions surrounding President-elect Donald Trump and what role did Russian hackers play in his election. The president-elect has staunchly questioned any Russian meddling in the election. Chiefs from all the major intelligence agencies are certain it was Russian hackers with connection to Vladimir Putin who hacked the DNC and released controversial emails. It was the topic of a Senate hearing on Capitol Hill this week. On top of that, lawmakers have traded some early jabs on the future of the Affordable Care Act. Joining us to give us thoughts on both topics is our political analyst, Rick Mullaney. Rick, thank you for joining us, as always.
Yep.
Want to start with the Russian hacking issue. Where does it go from here? This has been drama up until this conclusion by intelligence agencies. Donald Trump going back and forth, questioning it. The administration wanting answers. Looks like they have some now. Where do you see this going?
Well, let's put it in context. Yesterday, you had a report declassified that went public, but you also had the head of the FBI, the head of the CIA, the head of NSA, and the head of National Intelligence meeting with Donald Trump to discuss this issue. And they basically came to three conclusions. One is that Russia did try to influence this election, and they did, and part of that was a cyber attack that included the hacking of the DNC and John Podesta's emails, as well as some propaganda. Second, there is no evidence to suggest it affected vote totals. They didn't hack machines, they didn't do the tallies, it didn't affect Michigan and Wisconsin. And third, they did it with the purpose of helping Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. After that meeting, Donald Trump was at least a little more positive towards the intelligence agencies. He'd been a little disparaging up until that point. Pretty quiet on the issue of whether he acknowledged the Russians had done this, but very adamant that it had no effect on the election.
Trump was saying that he does want to increase our ability to fight cyber hacking, cyber terrorism. And then, as you said, he went back and forth on how he felt about the intelligence community. How does he go into office in a week or so and deal with that background of the last couple months of going back and forth with the intelligence agency and saying some critical things?
But what he's done is he's ordered that within the next 90 days, a plan and report be issued to him that talks about what the United States policy is going to be towards cybersecurity and how to improve it. I think he has been somewhat preoccupied with not letting this taint the legitimacy of his election. And he has been sort of fighting the conclusion that Russia did this hacking and fighting the conclusion that Russia was trying to influence the election. Some of the Democrats want to use this in a political way, but it also appears that Donald Trump wants to avoid any taint on his election. But for Donald Trump, moving forward, I believe he's going to have to move away from this disparaging of the intelligence communities. That is very, very serious.
One area that could happen could be the Affordable Care Act. That's the other thing I want to talk to you about. Senate starting to talk about it this week. Repeal and replace. That has been one of his campaign promises going in. Mike Pence was on the Hill this week trying to talk about that issue. Where do you see this going?
Part of the problem is that it's much easier to repeal it than it is to replace it. And by that I mean procedurally. It takes 51 votes in the Senate to repeal many aspects of it. It takes 60 votes because of the filibuster in the Senate to replace it. Some Republicans feel strategically by repealing it, it can put pressure on to replace it. But that's a very risky strategy, very risky strategy.
I've heard some of the Democratic leadership this weekend, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, trying to nail the Republicans on this. Do you think the Democrats, knowing they could possibly get what has been maybe a centerpiece of the Obama presidency and the Affordable Care Act, are they going to hit hard the Republicans? Any chance? Are they going to hit the Republicans hard if they try and take it away?
If Republicans simply repeal, without having plans to deal with what that looks like, they will hit them very, very hard. Because repealing without replacing, repealing without putting other pieces in place could have a very significant effect on the uninsured. Remember, the primary purpose of the Affordable Care Act was to extend coverage. It wasn't as much about quality, it wasn't really about cost, it was about access, it was about extending coverage. 20 million Americans now have insurance that did not. If you simply repeal without replacement, that could mean the loss of coverage for many. They will hit very hard on that issue.
Rick Mullaney, Channel 4 political analyst. I appreciate you coming on, speaking with us. We'll be talking to you more as these weeks go on up to the inauguration, so thank you. Those two issues we will continue to follow closely. Find the latest on them anytime at the politics page of news4jax.com.